Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from www.tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. Now I'm going to be doing your Scorpio reading for March. So this month is different to last month. Last month I did because it was the love month. I mainly focused on like love and stuff, and then I went into the other aspects of your life, Scorpio. But today I'm going to be doing it the other way around, so it's going back to normal, and I'm going to be starting off with your finances, then your relationships, and then your spiritual cards. And I'm also going to pull a small card for you from the angel cards, the healing angel cards by Tony Carmine Solano. So for your finances, you have the justice card and the page of swords. Now the interesting thing about both of these cards are they are both they both represent the air element, because the justice card is ruled by Libra, and the page of swords is also an air sign card. So to me it's like very we're really focusing on the mind and thinking aspects of things. So it might be a case of when justice shows up, it talks about choices and decisions, having to weigh up your options, having to really maybe spend some time out thinking what is the best call of action. um the justice card can also represent legal environments as well, like legal establishments. But what I'm kind of seeing here is with the page of swords, the page of swords is a bit like it's, I don't know, the page of swords can he can, I think the cheeky side of him is that he can be a bit deceptive and a little bit cunning. And when I look at like the justice card with this page of swords, I kind of feel like it's something I want to say before getting like too deep into with these cards is, I would say sort of be careful with communication and what you say, because sometimes with the page of swords it can represent communication that can be um like miscommunicated, something that can be miscommunicated. So when it comes to your work and your finances, I feel like the justice card might be speaking of, it can speak of again like some kind of legal contracts or agreements, but then it also can be speaking of having to make some choices and decisions when it comes to your work life. And it's saying, make sure any choices and decisions that you make, you're kind of that you have all the correct information in before you move forward with anything. Because again, like I said, the page of swords can represent somebody that also can be a bit cunning, a little bit, I don't know, like they can be kind of that type of character that thinks that they can outsmart people kind of thing. And so it can represent different things as well, but that's kind of the energy I'm really picking up on with these cards, is that I feel like something that could be really important in terms of your work, and it could be like a work contract, something like that. Something may not be all what it seems, or it might be miscommunicated, or there could be a misunderstanding that takes place in your work environment with something that is quite important. So and again, like it could even be, if it's not your work contract itself, it could be again some kind of legal document or something of importance. So and sometimes it might not even be that this person is a person that does it out of being spiteful. It could even just be something that just ends up being overlooked or something like that, but still it was important to be sorted out properly, but then maybe somebody just made a mistake, or didn't look it over properly or something like that. So I would say sort of be careful with that kind of thing in the month of March when it comes to the work that you do. um okay, for those of you that are in relationships, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Actually, I think it was in this order actually. Yeah, it was the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups has been showing up quite a bit in people's relationship cards, interestingly enough. And it's the Eight of Pentacles came after the Ten of Cups. To me the order of the cards is like really important as well, so that's why it's like I have to make sure I'm reading it as like I like in the order that I pulled them in. So the Ten of Cups to me is, it shows like a really nice kind of family life, family environment. And then the Eight of Pentacles is like the work that you put in, the time, the effort. It's like a card that represents a sense of dedication. Sometimes if you look at it from a more general sense, it can represent study, but I feel like in this sense we're talking about relationships here, so it's not so much referring to study. But to me, when the Eight of Pentacles shows up in a relationship situation, it's talking about having to do some things over in terms of a relationship. And so with the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups is a really positive card when it comes to relationships and union, and feeling a great sense of fulfillment in a relationship that you're in. But the Eight of Pentacles is almost showing that maybe even to get to this point, or to be at this stage, you've had to work at things, be able to do the relationship over again, or maybe be able to make more of a committed effort in a relationship. But I do like this card, because I think the Eight of Pentacles, it shows a commitment to a relationship where you're willing to put in the hard work to make things turn out really well. And the Ten of Cups is kind of showing that commitment, that time, that effort that you're spending together as a couple or working things out is really helping things. So in that respect, is really good. The Ten of Cups can sometimes, I have seen it in relationship situations where sometimes it can represent even the ending of a relationship situation. And so for some people it could even mean an ending but then a new beginning coming through in a relationship as well. So that might be the whole theme of doing a relationship over. Like it could even mean that maybe a couple could go on a break and then get back together and work on things that way. But I'm more feeling like, I don't feel entirely that this is applying to people that are necessarily separated. I feel that it's just talking about a couple that are really devoted to one another and working on their relationship, which is yeah, it's really positive. Actually, it's really good. For those of you that are single, you have the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. And what this kind of tells me is that the Hermit is like, if I was to think of a card to represent somebody that is single, I probably would think of the Hermit, because the Hermit definitely is a card that represents sort of being by yourself, and it's like soul searching, what you're in search of the bigger picture, search of bigger answers in life. It's about you gaining wisdom, and it's like you surpass sort of the more uh mundane day-to-day life kind of concerns, and it's like now you're interested in more bigger matters, maybe matters of spirituality, or answering the bigger questions in life. And I think that how it can apply for those of you that are single is that it's saying that for some of you guys, you may have spent quite a bit of time by yourself, and it could mean that in the time that you spent by yourself, that you've learned a lot, that you've grown a lot, and you're now in a position to almost give your wisdom not only onto other people, but it's almost like if you was to be in a relationship, it would probably stand a greater chance of working out, because of the fact that you spent the time to sort of understand you as a person. Because the Hermit is almost representative of somebody that goes off on a journey on their own, a journey of self-discovery, and within that self-discovery they experience a sense of spiritual enlightenment. So that might be you. Maybe you spent quite a bit of time by yourself, just working on yourself, developing yourself, learning about yourself. And the good thing is, with the Ace of Swords coming through, it's saying that there's an opportunity for a new beginning to come in when it comes to your relationship situation. And to be honest, when I look at this, I'm not necessarily seeing that it could be saying that someone new is coming in, but I'm more feeling like the Ace of Swords is almost like giving victory to the Hermit. Like it's almost like the Ace of Swords is saying that you have achieved a lot for yourself in terms of your own self-development, your own self-awareness. And so it's almost like it's giving you that congratulations to say that you've kind of gone through the challenges, you've passed through that kind of stage of where you had to kind of learn some big lessons, and now you've learned those lessons, and from that understanding you're really able to move forward in a better direction for yourself. And because of that, it means that you can become more whole as a person, and you have even more to offer somebody else when the right person does come along. So March might be that month where you do learn quite a few lessons even about yourself, and but all of what you learn is going to be really beneficial to you down the line when it comes to being in a relationship. So yeah, that's really positive also. Now the spiritual cards were really interesting. Now what order was that in? I feel like it was like that. Yeah. You had the devil card with the four of wands. And to me it's like when I look at these cards together, because these are your spiritual cards, the devil card yeah, is represented by Capricorn. And so when I look at it in reference to the four of wands, they have such a different energy about them. Like the devil card can it's interesting because quite a few cards that have shown up with the readings have been really like contrast, like when you look at the two cards together, and this is like another combination that is like really so different from one another, because it's like the energy of the devil is just, you know, restricting, bonding, ties, everything. And then the four of wands is like it's family, it's love, it's harmony, it's just having it's like the time where you've worked and you've been able to sort of, you know, use the fruits of your labor to then spend time with the family and be around those people. And it's, but the devil card is kind of showing that, you know, there can be this sense of entrapment and feeling stuck, and it's and it not being so pleasant. And so when I look at these cards from a more spiritual perspective, the devil card could be saying that it's a time of kind of releasing all of that kind of bondage, or releasing things that are of just material nature, something that is not conducive to you. So to me it's almost like March might be a month of almost purging for you, purging things that just no longer serve you, no longer benefit you. And then maybe, you know, because of being able to release those things, you're able to move into the energy of the four of wands, where there is more time spent with the family, more quality time with the people that you love and want to be with. Because just now, like just thinking about these cards, they also can represent somebody, um somebody that is maybe dealing with their demons. Maybe these demons have kept you away from your family, from people that you love. Maybe especially showing up with the hermit card, which the hermit card was in relation to those of you that are single. But with cards, they can work all in exchange with one another with the messages that come through. The devil kind of with the hermit can signify maybe somebody that is dealing with their demons, and because of it they've kind of become a bit of a recluse. Like they're not so social, they're not really around so many people, they're kind of maybe more dealing with their own issues, and their issues are kind of distancing them from being around other people. And so what it's kind of saying is March might be the month where you get to release a lot of that kind of stuff, get rid of all the kind of stuff that is holding you back or keeping you separate from the people that you really love and that you should be spending time with and being around. So I think on a spiritual level it's good. The devil can represent having to also learn some pretty challenging lessons, because like I said, you know, it's represented by Capricorn, and Capricorn is the sign of sort of that hard work, the hard graft, because it's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is, you know, sort of the hard taskmaster, you know. You don't learn lessons easy with Saturn. So it's like you would have to show and prove yourself in order for you to really achieve something when Saturn is wherever Saturn is. So it's kind of saying that that is what you're going to be maybe experiencing in the month of March. Maybe there's some area of your life where you really need to work on it. You really need to rid yourself of maybe some kind of bad habit or negative thinking or negative patterns. Could be addictions also that you have to release in order for things to be better, maybe for the home life or home environment to be more harmonious too. So yeah. Okay, your card. I liked your angel card. It's Archangel Gabriel. And you will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear. And I think that kind of connects also with your Ace of Swords that showed up. That did show up in a relationship situation too. But the Ace of Swords can also represent that clear communication as well, and communication coming to you. And I also feel that maybe clear communication is something that is important, especially when it comes to your work situation, having the Page of Swords. So there might be positive news coming through for you, but then at the same time I feel like communication is something that you really have to make an effort with this month as well, because I feel like even if you're communicating clearly, somebody else might not be. So yes. I'll see you guys. Bye.